Welcome to the day before, an open world MMO survival set in a deadly post-pandemic America overrun by flesh-hungry infected and survivors killing each other for food, weapons, and cars. Now, I'll start off by saying we don't know much about the game at all right now, but my first impressions are good, to put it simply. So far, we've seen an extended gameplay trailer which dropped earlier this week in April, but just last week they released another trailer, but I can't really say it impressed me more than the first one. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. They they pretty much did show us the exact same stuff, but nonetheless, it was cool to see. I think the main thing that everyone's excited about is that we finally did get a release date. So, what are some things that stood out to me personally from everything that we've been shown so far? Let's start with looting. If there's one thing that I'm happy about, it's that everything looks lootable, from cashiers to coat pockets to raiding a tech store. It kind of feels like if you can fit an item inside somewhere, then you can most likely loot it. Another thing that we know right now is that there will be a big zone for players to come together to do things like trade and sell items, alongside a whole range of other interactions. It will be interesting to see how currency works in this game and how far it will get you. Next up, we've got the map. Now, we don't have an official look on it yet, but it actually looks like it will be surprisingly big. Throughout the trailer, we see multiple areas from the downtown area to the mountain ranges, the huge farm fields, and the tall tree forest. So it looks like there'll be plenty to explore. They also showed off a few vehicles to give you an idea of how you travel around, so I think it's pretty safe to say that yeah, this map is going to be big. Now for the zombies. There wasn't actually much shown on the zombies, but from the small snippets we've been shown, we can see that the zombies on screen react to noise and seem to not be affected by light at all. These zombies seem weak and they don't really take a lot of bullets or effort to kill, but I'm assuming that there's going to be a whole roster of different zombie types, and I'm looking forward to seeing how creative they can get. Let's have a look at weapons. We have assault rifles, snipers, shotguns, and pistols, although not too many options when it comes to melee. We did however get to see a preview of what looked to be a gunsmith where you can configure and swap out different parts of your weapons. So it looks like gun builds will definitely be a thing, and you'll be able to have special builds depending on what activities you're doing within the game. I'd also like to point out that just before the trailer they do give a little hint at what I believe is a possible safe house location that you'll be able to tweak to your liking, but I'm really not sure how they're going to implement that. Possibly like how they had safe houses in Division, but ones that you're now able to customize. I don't know, there's still so many unanswered questions. The game has a very basic and simple UI design. While you're out exploring the world, you're going to have to worry about things like the temperature, energy, and hydration levels of a character alongside your armor and player health. It doesn't seem like there's anything else that's too standout about the UI, but I like it. It's simple. Moving on to the inventory, it's pretty standard. Slots for your weapon, armor, and clothing. I can assume that the better backpack you carry as well will also increase the amount of inventory slots you have. There's not much to be said here, but like I said, I'm a fan of the minimal design. Overall, this is a thumbs up from me. Now, of course, PvP is and will be a huge part of the game's core. We've seen clips of squads fighting out in the city and also evading each other to avoid conflict in other areas of the map. This leads me to believe that PvP will either follow a Division kind of format, having set zones like the Dark Zone, where PvP is enabled 24/7, or an approach like New World, where you're going to have to enable PvP and then you can go toe-to-toe with other PvP flagged players. I think PvP in this type of situation will be super cool, but of course come with great risks. The game looks stunning, and to add even more onto that, the concept is brilliant. I even remember the first time I saw the game, I was completely blown away. The game looks incredible and I feel like a lot of the community agree, but that's another reason why I'm a little bit worried about this project. It just looks too good to be true. With recent trends in gaming releases, I'm sure we all know by now not to get too worked up about the beautiful looking trailers and the scripted gameplay, but I do hope that this is real. If they're able to pull something like this off, it would be huge. They'd pretty much be unstoppable. It looks and feels like The Division had a baby with The Last of Us, two widely loved titles, and to be honest, what could go wrong? I'm definitely going to continue to keep an eye on this game, and when we do hear more, I'll be sure to make an update video on the game's progress. But that's going to be all from me. If you guys did enjoy the video and you want to see more, please don't forget to leave a like, and I will catch you all in the next one.